Welcome to the Truth Tribe, everyone. Welcome, welcome. So, welcome to the Truth Tribe. If you are new here, I am Daune Thompson, and I am known as the Soul CEO Activator. I decode the boulders so you can design the life that you actually deserve. It's time, my friends, not the one you were told to settle for. Truth Tribe exists for one reason: self-awareness of your own, you know what? Your health, your wealth, your relationships, and all that is in between. Let me say this very clearly, as I do on every call. You are already perfect. There's nothing wrong with you. We are not fixing you. We are remembering who you are. You don't need an astrology chart for Truth Tribe, but it will always help during the planetary and astrology discussions that we have if you want faster clarity on your own soul's awareness. You can grab a free chart at ideserveitnow.com. Just hit free astro in the header and you will be given an option to download and save. So, all right, again, let's get into today's truth. Security, the nervous system, and why abundance won't land until you feel safe. Safe is a big word, and we're not addressing things from energy. We address them from things. And I've been trying to teach you guys for years. We have inverted. It used to be things. What kind of thing do you want? Then what kind of thought do you have to need? And then you see if it's true for you. And now we have inverted, and now it's what is my truth? What do I need to think in order to create that truth? And the thing just applies and attracts and becomes what that truth is. But we haven't created a safety persona, understanding, awareness of what makes you safe, right? So, Truth Tribe, this is one thing I need you all to understand. This is the missing piece, right? We've talked about saying yes to you in the last couple of weeks. Relationships are mirrors, money and worth. And it really comes down to like, what do you feel like you're valuable and what you deserve in here, right? Now we talk about why abundance still feels just out of reach for so many people who are doing all the right things. This is what I see the most in my company. But I'm doing all the things, Dawn, and I'm still not getting what I want. Hmm. And the answer is super simple, but it's not easy. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe yet. And the truth that no one tells you about abundance is abundance does not land when you're in a life of chaos. It does not stay when you're in survival mode, and it does not respond to pressure. Abundance responds to safety, to calm, allowing the river to flow through you. Not external safety, internal safety. And if your nervous system is constantly braced, waiting for the next shoe to drop, overthinking every decision, preparing for loss, even in good moments, your body is saying more doesn't feel safe. Do you get that? We're like, why can't I get more money? Because you don't feel safe energetically to take on more, because in your mind, more money means more work, more time, more of something. It matches that in your brain, your nervous system. So you don't feel even safe. More doesn't feel safe yet. Money, love, opportunity, and expansion will always pause at the door until safety is established inside of you first. Security is not what you were taught, not what any of us were taught, right? Most of us were taught that security comes from money in the bank, relationships staying stable, or at least old white picket fence relationship stuff. That's why I teach relationship astrology, the relationship toolbox, because it's not the way we used to look at it. Predictable outcomes, other people not changing, right? That's how it is. Other people aren't going to change for you, right? But that's fragile security. That's just once those things break just a second, you don't have security. True security is no matter what happens, I trust myself. And you can't trust yourself if you don't know yourself. This gets to me so deeply, right? Because it got to me. I did the same shit you're all doing. We all do. And I'm telling you, my friends, I don't care how much money you have or how little money you have. I don't care how great your relationships are or how crappy your relationships are. I don't care how great your health is or how terrible your health is. No matter what happens in your life, it will not shift until you trust yourself enough to go, I will conquer this. I know who I am. I know what I need. Self-awareness. And if that sentence makes your chest tighten, good. That means that's where your work is. That's where your blind spot is. That's where you've got a hot spot, as I call it. In Lighthouse Astrology, look at your security check, right? Security lives in the body, the nervous system, in your foundation houses. So here's a quick self-check. Where do you tighten instead of soften? Go pull up just the astrology category wheel that I've uploaded for you in both of the community walls. Again, you need to be in the community in order to get access to these pages. All you got to do is go to ideserveitnow.com and join our IDI membership. Where do you tighten instead of soften in that category wheel? What category? Where do you control instead of trust? What category? Where do you stay busy to avoid feeling? In what category? That's not weakness, that's just conditioning. Your nervous system learned safety through survival, not through self-trust. And now abundance is asking you to upgrade your whole system. And so it's why can't you think your way like into this peaceful place? Because we've been doing all this knowledge and education and downloading, and it's what I do for a living, but I'm like kind of fed up with it. I'm like, I want to do this fast. You still need to invest in you daily, weekly, monthly. Absolutely. You still need to be in groups and communities and learning and growing, but you got to self-check. And you got to self-check yourself. You can't just think a tool up, learn a magic tool, learn a magic book, learn a magic course, and think through it, and then you're going to feel at peace. Doesn't work that way. You've got to self-check, self-regulate, self-mastery. This is important. You cannot mindset your way into regulation. You cannot affirm your way into safety, and you cannot hustle your way into calm. And I have a lot of clients that are hustlers. Safety is felt, my friends. It is not thought, which is why slowing down feels terrifying for some people. Stillness feels unsafe. Rest feels like danger. Ease feels suspicious. I can tell you that my body gave out on me for 2 years. I was very unwell. I would show up, I would work, I would pull it together, and the second I was done, I would get on that couch and I would lay down, and my body was forcing me to rest and take time out to reset my nervous system to get safe, but it felt terrible in my brain, the thinking part, right? That stillness didn't feel safe. My nervous system didn't want that. My rest felt like something was going to happen. Nothing was going to happen. I was resting. I was healing. It felt like something was going to drop. That's not intuition, my friend. That's trauma patterns leaving the body. You've got to give it time to understand what it's even like to reset. So abundance requires regulation. And let me say this clearly. If your body is in fight or flight, your soul cannot receive. That's why people can manifest quickly, but then lose it fast, right? When you see that in lottery ticket people win the lottery and then their life goes to shit. They have all this and then they lose it. Earn more money, but you feel worse. You feel you attract love and then you sabotage it. Safety. Hit goals and then you feel empty, like now what? Right? The nervous system didn't come with them. The abundance stays where it's welcomed calmly, not chased desperately. And we have these karmic contracts that we came with in our natal birth chart, in our astrology lighthouse. Growth is an exit, it is not an avoidance. So let me say something that might annoy you a little bit. I get it. I kind of like poking your buttons. It's kind of good pushing your buttons a little bit to get you like, wait, what? But I love you, so here we go. You signed up for this. All of it. Every irritation, every repeating pattern, every why does this keep happening moment. It's karma. That, my friends, is what karma is. And karma is not punishment. Karma is not do good, do bad, get bad. It's why people go, well, why? They're assholes. They do such bad things and they still get it because that's not their karma. It may be somewhere else, right? Karma is completion. And you came here to complete some hard lessons, repeating patterns, something in your life. This isn't your year. Please, this year of 2026, I've been trying to prompt you guys into 2026. New year, 1 year, horse year, freedom year. This year isn't about avoiding discomfort. You shed all this skin, but this newness is going to be uncomfortable because you're still you. You still have the same birth chart. You still have that energy that you've got to master. So it's about finishing what you started, finishing what you need to complete to get to that freedom point, that vision that you just intuitively put out there because your higher self knows where to go. Right now, the universe is applying pressure because it's time to be lighter. And karma, ego, old identities are fighting for their right not to change. Right? That's why frustration feels amplified right now, why emotions are bubbling up, why things that you thought handled already, right? Oh, I thought I dealt with that already. There's a pattern again. It's showing up again, right? Are back for another look because it's not a setback. It's the pinnacle. The universe is literally saying, you've been praying for this. Now let's close the loop. Karma is completion. Learn the lesson, learn that class, master that category of your life. And those karmic hotspots are karma. They are hotspots that turn into very hot. We avoid them. We stay away from that category in some way, and we avoid it. Becomes blind spot. Then our subconscious starts mastering us, starts ruling us, making these repeating patterns go, I like this discomfort. That's what I know. I want to sabotage it. I don't want to learn that. That's what happens. Let's close the loop. Let's complete the karma. What karma actually is, as I said, it's not good or bad. It's unfinished business. It's the thing that triggers you, irritates you, scares you, exhausts you, criticizes you, judges you, keeps repeating no matter how much work you've done. That's the contract you signed up to grow and master. And yes, some of these contracts were signed in this lifetime, some were signed a long time ago, some were signed in past lives, and some aren't either. They're just karmic imprints that you came to grow in that keep renewing because you avoid them, avoid them, avoid them. And I can tell you, hands down, I see this all day long with clients. Avoidance doesn't complete your karma, and it sure as hell doesn't clear it. So when someone's like, well, karma's bitch, karma's gonna get you, that's not what it's doing. Avoidance doesn't clear karma, it attracts it louder. So the thing you don't want is often the exit. Every single thing, every single one of you has a thing, okay? That one category in your life that feels harder than it should. Health, just go through the list. Health, money, intimacy, trust, visibility, authority, receiving, rest, boundaries. That's not your flaw. That's your freedom door. Your self-image. Go enhance these categories, learn them, master them. Remember, you are the lighthouse. You are the sun in the center of this lighthouse, and you have 12 categories around you. And you came to master all 12 categories, all 12 aspects of your life. That's Christ consciousness. That's light consciousness shining and mastering. That's what Christ, that's what Jesus mastered. Buddha, Allah, Krishna, Kali, doesn't matter who the ascendant masters were. They were masters that mastered their entire reality. That's what you're here for, to master that. So these areas that are pushing your buttons that are super uncomfortable, right? That's not your flaw. Those are your freedom doors, and you've got to walk in the door. And sometimes they're not ones we think. I thought I mastered a couple of mine, and boy, they came around this year. But I mastered them. I didn't pull back. I stepped back in and I knew who I was, so it was easier because I'm confident. I know who I am. So if you want a shortcut, minimal, go look at Saturn in your chart. That placement will show you exactly where you resist, exactly where your mastery lives. The thing you fight is usually the thing that sets you free in Saturn. Saturn is the boulder. It sits on top of us and says, climb over me, climb under me, learn this lesson, and then you will see you will be free. Why this feels intense right now is because completion requires embodiment. You have to learn it and then become it. And it doesn't make sense to other people who are like, God, you're kind of different. You are, because you became what you were, maybe self-sacrificing, people-pleasing, doormatting, whatever you were doing, overspending, lowering your worth for other people. And when you embody it, it changes the game. That's what Saturn's lesson is. You can't leave your body behind, right? You don't blink and then magically you're in a new world. You shed your old skin, my friends. Frustration, sadness, anger, right? Those things, when they show up back up again, they're not your enemies. They're signals that old cellular memory is being upgraded. Even the small stuff counts, especially the small stuff counts, right? There are little things that I'm starting to acknowledge in my life that I just kind of put to the side, just like, that's not a big deal. I don't need that. And I'm not doing that anymore. I have a list of all these things that are important to me that I've been negotiating or waiting or just, you know, putting them off as unimportant. But to me, I'm like, that's something that's really important to me or I want, and I'm not negotiating anymore. Because light doesn't arrive by skipping the darkness, the insecurities, those hot spots, right? It arrives by moving through it consciously, being self-aware and being conscious of what it is. The real invitation of this year is asking you, where will you stop avoiding? Move forward. Where will you stop outsourcing your responsibility, making a choice of something you didn't want that you know will grow you? Where will you lean into the uncomfortable category of your life instead of circling around it? Because growth completes your karma, avoidance extends it. And one simple, right? Like once something is complete, it becomes so simple, it loses power over you. Here's the thing, you don't complete karma, or I shouldn't say karma doesn't get you. Right? Karma drops you. You don't drop the karma. You don't get rid of karma. I want to clear my karma. I need to go do a karmic clearing. That's how it works. Once you complete the lesson and you learn that you have to master that, it drops you. It loses power over you. That's the freedom you're looking for. So when your nervous system feels activated, when safety feels shaky, when expansion feels so uncomfortable, it's not failure. That's karma releasing through growth. That's karma completing through growth. And that moment, the moment that you stop resisting this lesson, the pressure just dissolves and you're in alignment. So the real work of this stage that we're in our reality, in the collective, this stage of awaken isn't about fixing your life. It's about asking, can I sit in safety without earning it? Can I receive without bracing for what's going to happen if I get it? Can I trust myself when nothing is guaranteed? And can I stay regulated while I'm expanding? Can I stay centered while I grow? Right? This is lighthouse mastery. This is mastery of your soul. And that's why this stage feels quieter, slower, and deeper, and wildly uncomfortable for high performers because you're not going backwards, you're integrating. And this is where everything shifts when safety becomes internal, right? When money stops feeling heavy or eluding you, relationships stop feeling threatening, no matter what they do, no matter who they are. Decisions stop feeling paralyzing if you make them because they're for you. Your intuition gets clearer because you feel it just to your core. Your body relaxes and your nervous system calms down. Your worth stabilizes because you are an open vessel, receiving. Abundance doesn't feel like a rush anymore. It feels like home. That's what you're supposed to feel. That's what entire lighthouse astrology mastery is. Lighthouse, who you are, lighting up your entire life. That's home. That's peace. Everybody tap it in here. Let's activate this. Repeat after me. I am courage. I am love. I am truth. I know courage. I know love. I know truth. All right, my friends, here's your community updates. Reality check reset live tonight. I am doing a mini live event. And if everything we've been talking about for the last 4 weeks, if you haven't listened to them, you can go back and do the re-listen, the replays. If any of this is hitting you, it's because you're ready to recode your safety, your worth, and trust at the root, at your root, and not patch it with another strategy. So tonight I'm doing a live event, reality check reset. You'll need your birth chart. So if you still haven't had that, it'll give it to you there. 6 o'clock Mountain Standard, Arizona time. If you're watching this before we go live, you still have time, by the way, to join. Details are below in the links in the notes or also on my social media and any of my social media bios. Okay, so the results of this class, reality check reset, what does your reality look? Do you need to get a reality check in your life right now and reset it? Because this reset is about nervous system safety, self-trust, worth embodiment, and anchoring the abundance in a way that lasts, like because you know who the blank blank you are, right? So in closing, I want you to remind yourselves, you don't need to push harder. You don't need to prove more. You don't need to embrace and lock up and brace for impact. You need to feel safe being you. Okay? And once you do, abundance knows exactly where to find you. I love you all. Brightest blessings. I will see you all tonight. You guys have a great day. Take care.